Hello, my name is Franklin and welcome to my channel. Today I'm working on a Case CX210B excavator. The tracks on one side is very loose and coming off, and also one of the hydraulic hoses on the lift boom is busted. So we're going to take off that hose and replace it, and we're going to tighten up the tracks. Let's get to it. The first thing we're going to do is tighten up this track right here. See how loose it is? See how it kind of sags down right there? Okay. And you can see that front rail, and then you can see this rail over here. Sprockets are okay. So when we put, the way you actually adjust this is you see a little grease fitting right there? You just get your electric drill gun and you cut it on and you push grease into there. And as you push grease into there, this little wheel pushes to your right, and that tightens up the belt. There's a lot of crap in the front, but let's give it a shot anyway and see if it'll tighten up. So I have the grease gun over here. I'm gonna grab it. Let's clean this grease fitting off a little bit. Don't want to put any trash in the gun or in the grease valve. So, see, I've cleaned off the grease valve a little bit. That's the grease valve right there. And this is the grease gun handle here. This is my grease gun I use for adjusting the tracks. I bought it at Harbor Freight for I think $100, something like that. And then the battery's separate. The battery was like $80 for that one. First thing we want to do is activate it to clean all the dirt off the tip. That's good. Okay, as you can see, the grease fitting is right there. I've cleaned the tip off of the grease gun to make sure we don't put any trash in there. And this particular one here has a lock on it. Kind of just push it in, all the way in to unlock it. Then you put it on, like so. Push it all the way in. Okay, it's in. Now it's locked on. It won't fall off. And then this, you just push the button. And you look at the track. See how it's coming up? You can see that piece in the front there is pushing out. And this part okay, that's pretty tight. That will be enough. Okay. Okay, see the difference? See how tight it is now? That's pretty much it. Okay, now that we get the track tightened up, if you take a look at it, you can see it's nice and straight now. It's not sagging like it was before. Look how tight that is. Okay, now that the track is tight, we're gonna go take off the busted hydraulic hose. And look at that. You can see hydraulic oil everywhere. See how it's wet all down through here and all up there. Look down through, even down here. You can see it's wet there. So it's got to be a huge leak. Look at that. You got to be careful when you're walking on these machines when they got a big leak like that, because it's going to be real slippery. Look at that. This whole thing is wet. So it wants to, look at them spraying all the way around there. Oh, I don't need to look for the leak. Look at that right there. That's your culprit. And the other end goes on the main manifold. I can see it right there. Now this one right here, I loosened it up with this big crescent wrench. It's a 15-inch crescent wrench. And I just use this right here to loosen it up. It made it easier. Now, the other one end of it is in there. It's the second one down on the left side. You can see the second one down. Okay. Now to get to that easier, I'm going to remove this cover, and those are usually a 19mm or a 3/4 inch. So I'm going to get down over there so it's a little easier. But you can see the whole thing is bathed in hydraulic oil, so you got to be real careful. Don't slip down and rust your head. So let me get in there. Okay, now I'm down inside of here, and I'm standing in here. When you're standing in here, be careful not to step on any sensors. Be very careful not to step on any sensors or any hoses or any connections. Just step on the floor or the bolts of the pump, something like that. So I'm here. I'm going to take off this cover here. See, I have an impact with a 19 millimeter and also a 3/4 will work also. So we pull those off and may have to open up the cover. Okay, let me get those off. Okay, I got the cover off. You can see I put it up there. It was missing a few bolts, that's why it came off so easily. But anyway, you can see this is the one that's busted, and you just follow it along down there, and it comes out to be this one right here. You can see it has Allen screws, and I can see they're kind of worn anyway. So when they over tighten them a little bit, it's best to use a torque if it's stripped out with the Allen already. So we'll take a look at that and see what we can get to fit in there. And we've got to take off this brace here too. See this brace here in the center? That's tying all these hoses down. So that one, we need to pull that one off. We got to take off these covers. Take out those 4 Allen bolts right there. And unscrew this right here. Let's get to it. Okay, so I got that ratchet on there. I'm just going to loosen this up. Take that socket out and pull that off. So once I take off these 2 bolts, this bolt and the one on the bottom, this plate and this top piece will come off, and then I can remove that one hose. You can see where it connects right there. I'll take that out and then I remove it and the hose will come right off. As you can see, I took the top bolt out and I just loosened the bottom a little bit, took the bolt out the top and the plate, I moved the plate and the guard down. So now this hose is free to be removed. I just gotta take it off right there. Oops, right there. Take off those 2 Allen bolts and I'll turn the other side and it'll be done. Okay, I have put in the ratchet with the T50 torque instead of the Allen because the bolts were a little bit stripped and the Allen T50 torque fits a little tighter. So I loosened up that one. Now let's loosen up the top one there. That one. See, I use an extension because it makes it a little easier to fit in there. Okay. Loosen up that one. Oh, easier said than done. Okay, let me go ahead and loosen these up and I'll come right back. Now I have loosened all 4 of them up, so they should be pretty much hand tight. But you got to take them out very careful because whatever you do, you don't want to drop them down inside because it's very difficult to find them and then to get them out. So you want to, not they're loose, you spin it until you're pretty sure it's all the way loose, and then you grab it with your fingers and take it the rest of the way out, and be careful not to drop it because it's very difficult to get up in there to get anything out. Okay, that's one, and we got 3 more to go. Now if you look down there, this is it right here. I've taken the top cup off completely. Let me see, what did I do with it? I'll show it to you. Okay, this is the top plate. I took this off. This one here was sitting like that. It can't clamp on the bottom. I always take out this one and take out this bolt and take the top one off completely. The one that's on the bottom, that grabs it from the bottom like that, I usually just loosen them up like this, loosen both up and just pull it out a little bit. I don't take it out because it makes it easier to put it back in, because you can just sit it down on there and pull it out. See, now I can pull this out like that, and when I get ready to put it back in the new one, I'll make sure the seal's there. As you can see, the little black seal. I'll make sure the new seal is there. I put a new black seal in there, and then I just come back and I can just sit it on top of there. It makes it easier to sit it back in. You can just sit it on top of there, tighten it up by hand, put the top 2 in there and tighten it up, and you'll be good to go. Okay, I've gotten that part off. This part here, I use the crescent wrench. You can use a wrench or whatever you feel you need to use. But this top one is already loose also. no big deal there. It's a big wrench, looks like 1 1/4, or I use the large crescent wrench and the backup wrench, 2 crescent wrenches. Just take those off, take it to the hydraulic shop and tell them you want one just like this. See, it's off. It's leaking a little bit. It is off. Throw it down there in the ground. Okay, I've got the new hose. They have these little caps in there so it won't fill in with dirt. And this is the other, and unfortunately they couldn't find the one that had the 90 on it, so they had to make it 2 pieces. They made this hose with a regular JIC, and then they had to actually make this one. You can see where they welded it, so it ended up being 2 pieces on this one. So I'll tighten it up right now. It might be easier just to put this piece on first here, tighten it down, and then put this one on. We'll see. We'll check it out. We'll see how much space is in there first, but this is the new one, so we're gonna put it on right now. Okay, I'm back inside the machine. See, I'm standing inside of the excavator. You can see this is where one end goes. Then it goes down here and locks in there. It clamps on the side so it doesn't get damaged or vibrates loose. And then it comes down here, and you see a little hole right there? That's where it connects to. Right there. It sits on there. And then we tighten it up. Okay, as I mentioned before, the other one was 1 piece all the way down here, and it had a turn, a bend. They didn't have a fitting with this 1 piece, so they gave us 2 pieces. They put this and they made it on. So the first thing I'm going to do is tighten this up real tight before I try to install anything. They put this cap on there so I won't get any trash or anything in there. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this up so that it won't be moving before I install it. Now that I got it tight, I just use these 2 crescent wrenches, put one here and one here, and I tightened it up real good. I'm going to go ahead and take off this protective plastic here. You want to make sure the seal is there, the rubber seal. You should have gotten the new one with the new hose, comes with a new seal. You want to make sure it doesn't fall off. And I'm going to hook that one on first. I'm going to take it down there, move it down below there, because this will be the hardest end to put on. The other one is just the JIC fitting. So let's put it in there like so. Let's see, put it on the bottom, and we'll just sit it in there. See, I have this piece already there. I put the bottom piece on there already. Let me tighten them up some more, a little more. I'm going to tighten these up some more, so we should just be able to sit it in there, and it'll be easier to deal with. Leave it open a little bit, not too much. Just enough for it to slide in there snugly and sit all the way down. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, you want to make sure the seal's in there. See the little black O-ring? And then you just want to set it in there like that. Okay. See here. Okay, this is where we are. We want to just take this, set it in there like that. Make sure it sits in flush. Okay, that one looks good. It's a good fit. Let's get the top one now. Hold it in place. Here's the top one. It fits right over the top there. Screw that in by hand first, as far as it'll go. And be careful, don't drop the bolts down in there, because if you do, you'll have a good time trying to find them. Down in there, under all the oil and dirt and muck. Just kind of tighten them up there best you can. Still going in. Get them as much as you can get in by hand first. Snug them up, all of them, because you want to make sure it seats good so there won't be any leaks. All the way in by hand, so you make sure you don't strip anything and that it's seating good. You want to make sure your O-ring's on there before you put it on there, of course. Okay, tighten all 4 of them up by hand as much as you can get them in there. Make sure it seats properly, wiggle it. Make sure it gets a good clean seat. Okay, all 4 of them are in there and tightened up. Now we get the socket. I believe it was a 50, I don't remember for sure. I used a 50 torque because the holes were a little bit stripped. But, well, the Allen wrench didn't fit them very good. So now we'll go ahead and tighten these up. Oh, let me get an extension and I'll be right back. Okay, I have this 50 torque and I'm going to put it in here and tighten these suckers down. I'll do the top one first, top outside one. Okay, let's get the bottom one here. I'm gonna make sure they're good and tight, extremely tight. Don't want anything to leak. Definitely don't want any leaks. Okay. And you don't want to drop your socket down in there. It's gone forever if you do. The Allen wrenches are okay too, but I find that in some cases the torques fit a lot better, tighter. They don't tight. Oh, that's tight. And this bottom one here, oh, also tight. Okay, now let's get the other side. Okay, this is the other end right here, which will be locked in that clamp down there in a few minutes. So we'll push it down there, and that one, this is the end. We'll clean off this thing here. O-ring face. Check that O-ring. I did not get a new O-ring for that. So, okay, if you look at that seal, it looks pretty flat. Doesn't look good. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. With the seal pick here. You can buy these picks in O'Reilly's or any place pretty much. That's the one I took off. And here I have a seal kit. It says K-Face seal kit. Let's open it up here. Okay. Find something similar. It's bigger than that one. Looks like this one right here. Let's try this one. So, just put it in there. See how good it fits. Perfect fit. And you can see it's above the edge. It's not flat like the other one. So this one here should work out much better. Put this one on there. Let's get started. Might need 2 hands for this. Let's see. Okay, I don't need 2 hands for this, so let's do it this way. Okay. Okay, I'll tighten that up. Okay, as you can see, I already got this one tightened up here with the seal on it. And all we gotta do is put it in the clamp down there and tighten it up. Okay, we got the new hose on. Got the new one on that side too, the yellow band here. Now we're gonna check the hydraulic level and then we'll start it up and check for leaks. Okay, the hydraulic level is checked on this side of the machine. You see the booms there. And just open up this door here. This is the door. And there is the hydraulic tank right there. If you look at it, you see the bubble? That's the level. See this line here and that line there? Long as you're between these two lines, you don't have to add anything. As you can see, it's up above the line. The little bubble is, so it's good and full. So now we'll start it up and check for leaks. Okay, so the leak is actually right here on that hose. So it'll spray the crap out of me if it's leaking again. You can see the other end. Let's go ahead and crack it up and see. Hopefully it won't leak. Can't imagine the operator sitting here when that thing broke. A really good bath when it leaked. Let's just check it out. Make sure. Whoops, that don't sound good. It started. Okay. Let's see if it'll. They got some secret way to make it operate because it's got a lot of I'll have to talk to the operator, I guess. I don't see any leaks anywhere. That's the hose that was busted. That's the other hose. But to make it operate, I'm not sure if they've got some secret. Oh, push it down maybe? Oh, there it goes. Pick it up. There you go. No leaks. Yes, we are okay then. Okay, we got it started up. No leaks anywhere. Runs pretty good. Everything operates. I want to thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you don't mind, take a second to hit that thumbs up button and we will see you in the next video.